You've waited a lifetime to look better and feel better, and now here's your chance. Fitness Friday on WNDB. Call 239-0033 and have your questions answered on health, fitness, and a better life. Fitness Friday is brought to you by Bodez by Tasso & Company, 1140 West Granada Boulevard in Ormond Beach. And now, here's your host, Tasso Kyriakis.
Welcome to Fitness Friday, Dave.
Good morning.
Even though you don't remember who it is after 25 years.
Bodez by Tasso and Company and healthy, inspired women.
Yeah. Stop it.
I know.
Well, hey, listen. I want
You
to.
sound like you feel better.
God, I feel so much better.
You had your knee replacement?
knee replacement 4 weeks ago.
4 weeks ago.
Day before yesterday, and
Wow.
it's Wednesday. I got the physical therapist told me I could get off my walker.
Very cool.
And I'm going around on a cane, and got a little too enthusiastic, I think, yesterday.
Oh, really? Are you hurting?
No, not really hurting, but but I feel a lot better, Dave. And I want to tell you how much I appreciate all the people who have just absolutely sent cards and stuff like that. I really appreciate that. I miss being at work. This week was my first week back at work. I averaged probably about 5 hours a day as opposed to the 2 hours I was supposed to do. But just, sitting there, I just felt so good doing work and being there and seeing my members and stuff. And very, very appreciative, like I said, of all the members that stop in and genuinely care. Before we get into the show, I want to do a couple things. Number one is I want to remind people that we still have going for another month the $5 enrollment fee. $5 to enroll. It's a $20 card fee, and your monthly dues are $39.50. Now, just to give you an idea of the value of this offer, is that it is normally $199 to join the club instead of the $5, so you're saving $194. Second thing is the dues are normally $59.50. They're only $39.50 in this case. It is only a 3-month commitment. I'm committed this year to showing people what the body's difference is about. And as I sit there now and have the opportunity to do more thinking than actually getting out and working out, people right now, I'm sitting there going like, how can I make a big bang to find a way to show people the body's difference? Because, and here would be an example of it. Dave, our core business really is we're a fitness club that is competing with $10 a month clubs, 24-hour a day fitness centers that are fairly reasonable price at $30 a month. And they offer great equipment. They really do. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, their equipment is, I think a lot of it is inferior to what we have because we have Medics and we have SciFit and stuff. But you know what? Functionally, they can get around to get pretty much the same thing done. It's like buying a $10 bottle of vitamins or a $30 bottle of vitamins. To some degree, they're going to get the job done.
Sure. And they have air conditioning. You have air conditioning. Yeah.
So it's all, to the naked eye when you walk in, what's the difference between the clubs? The difference is in what goes on philosophically there. And I before I remembered that Dr. Fahn was going to be my guest today in the second half hour, I wanted to sit and talk a little bit about this difference, and I really wanted to bring it down to the science that goes in. And everybody talks. We have this synergy we talk about. The 3 parts of the synergy are good nutrition, strength training to maintain lean body tissue, and moderate amount of aerobic exercise. Now, our version of aerobic exercise is a bit different than the traditional one and conventional one. Even where it's placed in your exercise routine is a little bit different for what we do because of the science that we've uncovered. But there are 2 other triangles that we talk about in what we do that are, we talked a lot about the big triangle this year, the brain, the immune system, and the gut's involvement in your health and fitness. And a lot of people, and the people who listen to this radio show should be listening to these conversations we have about this, because this is for that woman that has weight loss resistance, that has hot flashes, that has a thyroid that doesn't work right. It's for the men who are having to take testosterone supplements, because this erratic behavior of our hormonal system is the lack of balance. And the third triangle that we've not talked a lot, actually we've talked nothing about, is on the surface we call our body, mind, and spirit. But when we talk about the body, we talk about the cellular integrity of the body. The cell's ability to communicate, its interaction between other cells, its intelligence to know that it is an immune cell or it is a liver cell or a heart cell, and then the integrity of it, that the shape that cell is in, that I want to talk more and more about. And I'm trying to compose basically a 90-minute seminar that I want to give. The other thing I wanted to do before I got into the show, and actually part of the show, was I wanted to talk about Amy Van Dyken Rowden. I don't know if you followed her story. She's one of the most celebrated Olympic athletes we have as a swimmer. And at the beginning of the year, she was in a ATV accident, and she's paralyzed now. Her attitude that she approaches things is so unbelievable. Now, yesterday she's paralyzed from the waist down, and she was released from the Colorado hospital the day before yesterday, I believe. And she's accepted now the challenge of walking. This is what she wants to do, and she's very inspiring to everybody who's listening. She's had some great posts on her Facebook, because I started to follow her on Facebook ever since I saw her on Mike and Mike. So anyone can give up. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. But to hold it together when everyone else would understand if you fell apart, that's true strength. What this girl is doing is she is committing herself to once again challenging herself. And this is what made her an Olympic athlete. What made her an Olympic athlete was there's a lot of people walking out there that are blessed with talents. I've seen hundreds of athletes that should have been in the NFL or the NBA or whatever, but they didn't have the mental aptitude to challenge themselves, to say, I can be better. I can make myself work hard. And Terry, you've covered high school athletics, so you've seen kids that have talents. We have kids coming out of this area. I've said to Billy Gahagan several times, we have more kids walking the streets of our town that should be in the NFL or the NBA. It's ridiculous, the amount of kids. But it just shows where we stop so short from mental aptitude. Now I want to stretch that to the other part. And that's the part of America's obesity problem, is that we have people that give up too quickly. We have people that go into 500 calorie a day schemes of taking hormonal shots and all this other kind of stuff, rather than fixing the issue, because it's too hard to eat at a pace where you maybe make some different choices. And you don't have to make them all at once. It's a journey. It's a journey that every week you work to get better. And that's what we promote at Bodez. We're not going to give you some harebrained type of thing. Everything we do is behind science. Everything is to provide. I actually want my trainers to follow this girl's website now, not her website, but her Facebook, because she is inspiring in her story. And the goal of me as a trainer, as my trainers, should be to inspire every one of our clients to face their challenge, to have this attitude that they're unstoppable, not because she didn't have failures or doubts, but because you continue in spite of them. That is a great type of attitude to have. Listen, you're going to fail. It's like, I love the Domino's. Domino's has that commercial that says at Domino's, failure is an option. And he goes, have you ever heard the cookie pizza? Right? That commercial. Well, that's a great attitude. You understand that listen, when you're losing weight, you're going to have failure. You're going to have doubts. You're going to have times. If you're trying to get stronger, you're going to have those situations occur to you. But, and that's the one beautiful thing about athletics, that in its purest form, not because we want everybody to get a trophy or not because we want everybody to seem like they're a winner, but you have to experience the sting of losing, and it has to sit in you and say, man, I know I shouldn't have lost that. I remember my freshman year of college, my wrestling record was 2-22. Now that's 2 wins, Dave, and 22 losses. And the 2 wins were, one time we fell off the mat, and my head hit the guy underneath the chin, and it split his chin open. So I won by blood forfeit because his blood time ran out on him. He couldn't get patched up early enough.
Wow.
So that's how I won the match. The second time was that the guy had to forfeit during the match because he had a stomach virus and it was going to erupt on him, kind of thing, if you know what I mean. And then so it's like, I didn't really beat anybody but everybody that beat me, I remembered them. I had them on a little list. And my junior year, when I was 47-7, on that list there were about 18 of those 22 guys that beat me. I remembered those son of a guns, kind of stuff. And you do that, and you're powered by that. And this has to be the makeup of what you have and how you approach it. It doesn't have to be on that broad a spectrum, but it has to be that you have enough focus to yourself to say that I know I'm going to have failures. I know I'm going to have doubts in what occurs, but I'm going to keep going through that. And that's what I want. That's probably the main thing. I sat back and say, look, our philosophy of strength training and conditioning people is very simple. The tools we have are easy to use, from whether it be our 24-hour group exercise concept of fitness on demand, whether it be our supervised program, whether it be our appointment with fitness. We have the tools there. But the tool that we don't have in the toolbox is what's in your heart and what's in your desire. And that's what we will work better on doing. And you know, when in the old days when I used to spend more time training my trainers and training people, is, you know, they had a track that they had to go. There was the technical skills they had to build. And then there was the life skills they had to build of doing reading to develop their personal development. And the reason I wanted that personal development part of it was I wanted them to understand that they had to become better so they could make people better from that standpoint. Now, I asked Terry to come in because I couldn't get hold of my nephew today. Terry, we're involved in a group that I think everybody should be involved in, and it dovetails very nicely with what you do here on WNDB on Friday evenings and sometimes Thursday evenings with football. But it's the quarterback club, and you know this is gonna be an awesome year for the quarterback club. We have some great speakers and stuff. But tell people from your perspective, because you've been in 4 years now. You've been in a quarterback club.
It's like 6.
Really, is it 6? Tell people about your perspective and take on what quarterback club is, because I think it's a great investment. And you know, I'm on the membership committee, so I have the privilege of seeing how many new members are coming in. And you know, we have a cutoff number. We're trying to hit that number because we want a waiting list back on the quarterback club. But tell people about quarterback club from your words.
It's amazing, the quarterback club in the 6 years, the speakers that come through there. They meet on Monday nights, 5:30. They're going to be at the Plaza this year. They start right after the Monday after Labor Day and go through into November. 5:30, doors open. It's about 6:30. Program starts with dinner and everything. And the speakers usually are speaking by 7 o'clock, and we're done by 8 o'clock and out of there so you can catch Monday Night Football. But the neat things that really relate to what I do is high school football. And they do a offensive and defensive player of the week every week, and play offensive defensive player of the year at the end of the year. And this brings some attention to some of these kids in a way that's just so cool to bring them in front of the community. And it's the outstanding players from the local high schools. And I think that's the most important part of this. Is the quarterback club, the main goal of what they do is we get together and we have a good time, but we want to get some of these kids who aren't scholarship, you know, Division I, some exposure. So we put together on a website all the local kids that have potential, and we get that out to the smaller colleges and get some of these kids to get some scholarships at some of the smaller colleges, and that's what it's really about. But the fun of it is the group of people that gather together for 66 years, I believe it is now. 67 years. And there's some members that have been in there 50, 60 years.
Yeah.
You know, we got Gator Burt that joins us there, that's part of the team. It's just a bunch of guys getting together, having a good time on Monday nights and relaxing and talking about football and what's going on in our community. And it's just a great time. The speakers are just unbelievable.
Let's go down. How about September 8th?
Lou Holtz.
Lou Holtz is the first speaker of the year, and Lou Holtz is on ESPN. He's been, you know, there's no school he's gone to that within 3 years he didn't take him to a bowl game. He has a very simple philosophy, you know, and you can go to Nightingale Conan, and you can buy the speech, you can buy his presentation, $675 on DVD. Okay, $600, and you can't copy it. You can't buy it and copy it. You know, you could buy it and look at it for. Actually, that's what I did. I bought 2 of them. I bought two different ones that he had, and I watched them every day for 30 days, and then I sent them back because I couldn't afford the $1,400 for the 2 things.
But you got to memorize at that point.
And you know, he has 3 simple things. He says you trust the people you work with, have pride in the institution you are, and be committed to excellence. And you know, he talks about that from a motivational, but he's going to talk football. And you know, he's here. You know, normally you go to see Lou Holtz, they're paying $35,000, $40,000 for an evening with Lou Holtz. You know, we've been blessed because his son is in the area, sort of a favorite to the quarterback club because he's so behind what we do. You know, Tony Barnhart, who is the second guy of the you know, he was the lead guy on CBS. You know that this is actually going to be the last quarterback club meeting he does, because his schedule now, he just signed a contract with ABC. Mm-hmm. And I guess he's going to be, I guess that has a role with this new SEC network as well. Then we have George O'Leary from right across I-4.
Sweet.
Who is, George, I don't know people, I heard George probably 4 years ago.
Look what he's done with that program.
Yeah.
You know.
But you know, he tells it like it is. He you know, he tells you straight up. He's sort of an old gruff guy kind of thing, and he just tells you his story and tells you what's going on, and you know exactly where he's coming from. And he'll have some funny stories. He'll you know, he's sort of straightforward, real dry. You know, I'm still wagering. I'm going like, okay, who's going to be the person who's going to ask, hey, do you ever like look at Notre Dame and go, ha ha because they didn't take him. Dante Culpepper, who was a product of Ocala Vanguard or Ocala Forest High School.
I'm not
went
sure
to
there.
UCF, played for Miami, he spent most of his time in Minnesota, but had a lot of good years in the NFL. Even played some in the UFL for a while. And on October, we kick October off with the former Clemson coach and son of great FSU coach Bobby Bowden, but Tommy Bowden will be here. And he'll have some great stories to tell about his dad and his brother and that. And then Dr. Jerry Punch.
The next one, this is one of my favorite, and Dr. Jerry Punch, he's sports related. He's a doctor. He actually is a doctor.
Yeah.
You see him on NASCAR on a regular basis. He's on Fox Sports and covers NASCAR coverage, but involved with athletics and athletic injuries and that perspective of what he does and involved with that.
But he's also been involved, I don't know if you know this, with Alabama football.
With Alabama, I was going to say with Alabama football.
Yeah.
And I wonder how he got involved with Alabama football.
Probably because of the other guy that does NASCAR. What's his name? The voice of NASCAR. What's his name?
I'm not going to help you, Toss.
Whatever.
Eli?
Eli Gold. Yeah.
Eli Gold is Alabama,
Yeah.
and that's how Dr. Jerry Punch got involved with that. So, but Dr. Jerry Punch, really, I'm looking forward to that. I've gotten to talk to him a few times over at the track, and just one of those people you're going, he's a doctor. Why is he doing this? Because he loves it.
He loves it. It's a passion. And I'm going to tell you that I think that the next two speakers this year are going to probably be two of the most interesting from stories they're going to tell. Keith Brooking was basically a wild man from his days at Atlanta to every Dallas game you saw broadcast where he was playing with them, they always had him in the huddle before pumping up the team. I think he's going to be a fun guy to speak. I think because he's probably not been doing it that long, we'll hear some great stories kind of thing. And he ended up his career in Denver. Unfortunately, they lost in the first or second round of the playoffs the first year he was there. The last year he was there. And then Jesse Palmer, who, although had a nice career at Florida as a football player, had a nice career in the NFL as a football player, really, and has had a great career now on College Football Live for ESPN. He's probably known better for the Bachelorette and the Bachelor series than anything. So, but he'll be here. I'm sure that he will be very entertained just because he's become the deal in college football. He's one of the main guys that goes and talks. And then we have Kellen Winslow Sr., who is the athletic director at Florida A&M University, and also I believe he's in the Hall of Fame. I'm pretty sure.
I think so. Yeah.
As a tight end, played a lot of years for the Chargers and was involved in the game where they had to help him from the field because he caught so many daggone passes from Dan Fouts. And then the final one who ends up every year for us, and hopefully it'll be a return to Turkey Night that night. But
there you go.
Our very own, not so fast, my friend, Lee Corso. So for $385 to have 10 meetings that give you great camaraderie, and this isn't like, and I'm not knocking these clubs, it's not like Rotary, it's not like Lions, it's not like the different things that you can get in their service organizations. This is a group you go to because you love football. You have an alliance to your college football team because whether you're Ohio State, whether you're Tennessee, whether you're Georgia, whether you're University of Maine, there's someone there that has a connection to that school, and you'll bond with those people. You'll have fun. It's a great week when it's Florida State week.
Oh yeah.
So.
What's neat about it is you actually could get some time with these guys. Yeah. I've gone after the meeting's over. Who knows where you might end up over at one of the local places right over there by the plaza, sitting down to have a beer and relax and watch Monday Night Football. It's neat to think that you can sit down with these guys and have a beer and watch a football game. Well, and most of them you can.
John has talked that most of them have already committed, and when we say most of them, I don't think that you're going to see it. Now we know that Lee Corso will hang out for the whole game afterwards, But I think he's talked to most of these guys. Probably not going to get Lou Holtz to hang out.
You might.
Yeah, he
Lou might stay over here.
But most of them have committed to stay for the first half and go either in the lounge over at the Plaza or over at or the Oyster Pub because it's very close, walking distance from where we meet and that. And they've all committed that they're going to stay and talk and hang out with us and answer. And we do have a question and answer period with them afterwards when they're done. But I think that's one of the great things about it. And you think about this, you come and you enjoy this camaraderie and you have a good time. And it does good things. Our scholarship program that was founded by Tommy Durrance and Buddy Meisch, And it used to be a book we sent out. We've had several kids that have gotten scholarships because now it is, as you mentioned, it's a web page. So it doesn't really cost a lot of money. It's just the investment and the labor of love that's done by a lot of these guys to go out and take pictures of these kids, put the statistics together.
It's cool to think that people like JoJo Kemp and Ricardo Allen, who are now playing at college and NFL level, were players of the year and involved with the quarterback club at one time. And we've seen them come through there. You know, look at JoJo Kemp was on the front of the newspaper playing for Kentucky. Ricardo Allen just got drafted by the Atlanta Falcons. So,
well, hey, listen, last night, Eric Weems, who's been an all-pro when he was with Atlanta, now he's with the Chicago Bears. He was honored as a player of the week several times during the course of his career at Seabreeze, going all the way back to Ernie Cook, who was the first black athlete that was supposed to go to Florida State, ended up being an All-American and then playing with Tony Dungy.
Right.
In fact, he's talked about in Tony Dungy's book, Uncommon, was from Daytona Beach, quarterback club player of the year. All these kind of kids that come through this area and have been through here, they've been through and had that recognition because of that program that we have there. So I hope that you can go to DBQB. Is it DB Quarterback? You know,
DB Quarterback.
DBQuarterback.com. You can download an application. We have waived the $100 enrollment fee. It's $385 for the year. Gives you 10 meetings. You're going to have a great time.
Great food.
Great food. And all the information is on that application, where you mail it into, that type of thing. So, and if you have any questions, call me at 672-6464. We'd love to have you as part of the quarterback club. We do have a ceiling at 300. Terry, this is the first week we really started taking the application in serious efforts. August 11th, opened it up. And I've seen probably 25 to 35 new members already come through. I expect that we're going to close off fairly soon and hit that 300 number and have a waiting list again.
What a good problem to have.
This is the way it used to be. And the economics of what went on in Daytona Beach hurt the quarterback club. Plus, when you have guys that have been part of a club for 50 years, like you said, some of those guys pass away and things of that nature. And so this is really a rebirth year for us. This slate of speakers is going to be big for that part of it. Any one of them is worth the price of enrollment.
It is, and that's just it. Over the years, some of the speakers, Archie Griffin. What to think that we brought Archie Griffin in for the quarterback club, two-time Heisman Trophy winner, but got to talk to the guy and learn more about him and not just, the football side of it, the personal side of it. And that's just it. It's an opportunity to meet these guys, talk to them, get a little time with them. Like I say, afterwards, who knows? Have a beer, relax, watch a football game. What a better way. And that's just it. That's what this is about.
Get your picture taken,
oh,
autographs, that type of thing.
That type of thing. It's just, it's so cool. And they'll take the time to talk to you.
Real quick, in 1 minute or less, high school football schedule coming up. Give us a quick look for WNDB.
Here, Dave's going to have to help me out. I don't have it in front of me. Our first game, our kickoff, is going to be on the 5th of September, Spruce Creek at Mainland at Municipal Stadium, and then I believe.
Aren't you doing Mainland?
We're not going to do the DeLand game. We're not going out to Spec Martin. It doesn't look like.
Boo.
Yeah, would like to, but just there's too many struggles on making that happen right now. That's before Labor Day, and
if you didn't have your knee operated on,
I know
you would have been able to do it, but because of you, Tyler.
damn me.
But that's fine.
But we will be covering all the games from Municipal Stadium for Mainland and Seabreeze. We will make some trips to, I believe we're going to go down to Warner in October, and then whoever goes to the playoffs, we're going to follow them all the way until they lose, and hopefully maybe even win the state championship game. We've got some teams that got some potential this year.
Definitely talent in the area. So we're going to take a break, Terry, because we have Dr. Fahn coming in.
Thanks, Tossa.
And so I appreciate you being here with me this morning covering. I couldn't get hold of my nephew. He's probably off doing something exotic with one of his clients.
There's another neat thing going on here at Southern Stone, and that's Gator football.
That's right.
It's going to be on Love 99.5 this year. So we are going to be the home of the Gators.
That's
here
awesome.
At Southern Stone on 99.5 FM.
They get hold of you if they want to be a sponsor of that show.
Absolutely. Get hold of me here at the radio station, and we're looking forward to a great football season.
All right. Well, we're going to take a break and come back with our sponsor and guest, Dr. Lorenzo Fahn, who is bringing in a testimony of what his services can do to help you, whether it be pain relief, sleep better. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Another year, another chance for glory.
He's between the sideline to the 15 to the 10 and 5. Touchdown! Touchdown! Touchdown!
Gator football all season long.
He got to throw. Looks to fire. Intercepted. Touchdown. Oh, my.
Right here on your home for Gator football, the Gator IMG Sports Network.
Florida Gator football is brought to you locally by the Daytona Auto Mall on 99.5 WLOV.
Paragon Ocean Walk 10 offers the best movie-going experience at an affordable price. Paragon Ocean Walk 10 is conveniently located in Daytona's Ocean Walk shops at the beach. Paragon Ocean Walk 10 offers 4 hours of free parking with validation. Visit ParagonTheaters.com for tickets and showtimes. Movies are just $5 all day on Tuesdays. The fully renovated Paragon Ocean Walk 10 boasts an enormous 60-foot Hog Extreme screen, great for watching the latest action flicks and more. Paragon Ocean Walk offers beautiful oceanfront event space and party rooms, perfect for birthdays, girls' nights, weddings, and corporate meetings. Prices start at just $50.
The Vibe Room features VIP reclining leather seats, ideal for private screenings.
Paragon Ocean Walk 10 is conveniently located in Daytona's Ocean Walk shops at the beach. Paragon Ocean Walk 10 offers 4 hours of free parking with validation. Visit ParagonTheaters.com for tickets and showtimes. Paragon Ocean Walk 10 in the Ocean Walk shops, 250 North Atlantic Avenue, Beachside, Daytona Beach. Why see a movie anywhere else?
Attention, Silver Sneakers participants. Bodez Personalized Fitness in Ormond Beach is proud to be an approved fitness program provider for the Silver Sneakers program. Our Bodez Express membership is now approved for Silver Sneakers membership at no cost to you. Call 672-6464. That's 672-6464 to set an appointment for your orientation today. Also included is our new Fitness on Demand exercise class program. Please call for an appointment so we can answer your questions and introduce you to our facilities. Call 672-6464 to start your program and begin to experience the Bodez Personalized Fitness difference. Bodez Personalized Fitness is also an approved fitness provider for selected Florida healthcare plans. We look forward to improving the health and fitness of our Florida healthcare and Silver Sneakers participants and take advantage of the great program and your free membership. Call 672-6464. $5 won't buy much these days, but at Bodez Personalized Fitness, it can start you on the road to a shapelier, slimmer body and more energy and health. That's right, Bodez Summer Shape Up is a membership for unlimited use of our supervised exercise program and Fitness on Demand exercise classes until October 10th. $5 starts your membership and a low monthly fee of $39.50 in July, August, and September. We'll guide your fitness program with our personal supervision. It's a short-term membership to show you the body's difference and to get over that fear of long-term commitment and failure in fitness. By October 10th, you'll feel and look better with your new uplifting attitude and life-changing results. Call 672-6464. That's 672-6464 to start your short journey to long-term results at Bodez Personalized Fitness in Ormond Beach.
Call 239-0033 for Fitness Friday and your host, Tasso Kyriakis. Here's Tasso.
All right, welcome back. And as we do every third Friday of every month, we have Dr. Lorenzo Fahn. Sometimes we go solo, Dr. Fahn. Sometimes you bring someone in, which is more the case than I think we've only had in 2.5, 3 years of doing this. I think maybe it's only been you and I twice. We've had a room full of doctors here to talk about it. And the reason we do this is, number one, is to draw back the curtain of doubt and then maybe even fear for some people of what acupuncture actually is. And you handed me today major institutes that embrace acupuncture therapy, MD Anderson Cancer Treatment Center, which is in Texas, which you go to for continuing education quite frequently.
Yes,
as part of your and the thing. Mayo Clinic, Johns Hopkins Medical School, Stanford Medical School, University of California Santa Fe Medical School, UCLA Medical School, University of Texas Medical School, Harvard Medical School, Yale Medical School, University of Pennsylvania, New York University, University of North Carolina, University of Florida. So you have major hospitals in California, Oregon, Arizona, New York, Washington, and other states that are now embracing acupuncture therapy as a part of treatments. And what it comes down to is, and maybe today with our guest Rena, it's more of a traditional thought process of what we have for acupuncture, whereas we've learned over the years with you that acupuncture is a systemic treatment that helps people at all all phases of their life, whether it be sleep, whether it be pain, whether it be focus, whether it be anxiety, whether it be hormonal balance. But Rena, let's talk a little bit about your endeavors with Dr. Fahn. Now you work part-time in the area, but you had a problem with low back pain, correct?
And the hip.
And the hip,
And the right
okay.
hip.
Want to be a little bit closer, like
There you go. So you how long ago before you went and saw Dr. Fahn, Rena?
I've had this problem for 6 years.
Okay. And then finally went to go see Dr. Fahn?
Yes.
All right. And tell me about, now how long have you been going to Dr. Fahn?
Since March.
Since March. Okay. So we've got March, April, May, June, July. So about 5-6 months.
Yes.
Tell us.
Tasso, let me interrupt you a moment. Maybe Ms. Michael can share her different therapy before she comes to see acupuncture, and I think that would be relative to our listeners what she been done before she's seeking acupuncture therapy. Can you share your experience about your pain and the conventional therapy that you went and explored?
Yeah. Well, I had rehab, and that didn't help. I had rehab for a month, 3 times a week, and that didn't do any good. I went to chiropractor twice a week for over a year, and that didn't help. I also tried acupuncture with somebody else, and that would help for about a day or so, and then it would come back. But since I've gone to Dr. Penn, it lasts. Whatever he's doing seems to work for me.
Right. So now let's go back. I like to tell people, because you had what would be traditionally classified as a chronic problem. It bothered you for 6 years, okay? And that pain was through the back, was it across the back and down through the hip type of thing? So you had multiple things going on in the pain pattern. It wasn't like every day you woke up with the same pain pattern, probably moved around, intensified different areas of these areas that bothered you.
Well, some nights I didn't sleep at all because of the pain.
Okay.
It was so bad.
So now, when you went the first time, I like to start from the first time because I like to start with that. You were not afraid of acupuncture because you had tried it before.
Right.
So you went to it. That first time, what was the treatment like for people to understand what it was like for you with Dr. Fahn?
It was relief. Mm-hmm. I had instant relief. Not of all the pain, but
right.
A lot of the pain. I was able to walk comfortably.
Okay.
And it lasted for 4 or 5 days.
Okay.
And then I went back. And now I go once a week.
Okay.
You know, Tasso, let me interrupt you just a second. Because when I treat patients, depend on their experience of whether or not they have received acupuncture or not.
Right.
So if someone already know what it is, receive it, I roll up my sleeve, and I kind of zoom it in. But if somebody never have acupuncture, the first time I treat very gentle just to get them the experience of receiving it.
Right.
And the second and third time I kind of gear it up because a lot of people have a little bit anxiety when they come to acupuncture because it's they don't know in depth the benefits of acupuncture, and they don't know what acupuncture can help them with. So most of the time right now, because I have a lot of young kids coming in, teenagers, for acne, for eczema or dermatitis, I tell them you may not feel it because I'm using the baby one, the one for the children one, in which you barely feel it. And the second and third, I increase the intensity and at their comfort level. But I tell them it's just like it must give you a bite, it's a pin pressure, and just relax and take a good nap for half an hour.
Well, this is the difference, Rena, between going to someone who is, I've known Dr. Fahn, I think, for 5 or 6 years now, maybe longer. And at that time, he had 14 years experience as an acupuncturist, okay? Mm-hmm. And so, now you're upwards of 20, 21 years of experience as an acupuncture physician. And so when I first went to him, I'd had an experience with acupuncture. Mine was not a pleasurable experience because when I went for a knee issue, and the guy put probably 50 needles in my knee, and it wasn't I didn't feel any relief, first of all, but it wasn't a pleasurable experience. It was is what you were talking about. So I had a bad experience. So you probably treated me with the baby needles when I first came, because I told you I didn't like needles. I'd had acupuncture, didn't have any results, and I was amazed that because of his skill level, he used 3 of his micro healing filaments, was what he likes to call the needles. He used 3 of those, and I had, similar to you, I had immediate relief. That night, I couldn't sleep for more than 15 minutes without my legs burning in pain previous to seeing him. After seeing him, I slept an hour and a half that night and woke up and said, wow, my legs aren't hurting. I said, this is great, you know. Maybe I better sleep with my body pillow on my side like I've been doing for, you know, for a year and a half, just because it's got to come back, you know. Now, it didn't go away completely, but like you probably have maintained, it goes, it starts to decay a little bit, and then you go back and little by little. And do you find that when he does his treatments to you that the relief lasts longer?
Yes.
So
Each time now it lasts longer and longer. Dr. Pan told me he was going to heal me.
Right.
And I said, okay, you know, it's skeptical, but okay.
Right.
That would be great, you know. And I really think he's going to heal me.
So you're on the right track.
Yes, I am.
Now let's talk about something else. What my big aha to acupuncture was, because my vision of acupuncture when I first went was, it is a pain relief treatment. It's not too unlike what you went through. It's not unlike chiropractic, or it's not unlike physical therapy. It's not unlike going to someone who stretches you and stuff like that. It was for pain relief, is the way I viewed it. My big aha to acupuncture was the systemic, the things that affected in your system that were completely non-associated with you. My things that I noticed was I slept a lot better. My sleep was of a higher quality. My skin, people were starting to go like, wow, man, look at you. What are you doing to your skin? What are you putting on? You know, people were saying like, what are you putting on your skin that, you know, you look so young in your skin? It was that systemically he had begun to change everything about my system and balance my system. This is why we find, Dr. Fahn, the misnomer of why it is used in cancer treatment. People who are coming out of, you know, the process of going through acupuncture treatment is a great aid to people who have been through chemotherapy and radiation and all that, because that's hard on the body. But the acupuncture allows the body to step back and reset itself and recover. And I don't think a lot of people understand or realize that. But my question to you, Rena, is did you feel other things occurring? Like, did you sleep better? Was your energy better? Was your mindset better as a result of going to acupuncture?
Definitely my mindset is definitely better because I have no pain.
Right.
And that, to me, is worth everything.
Right.
And I sleep because I'm not in any pain.
Right.
I mean, I couldn't sleep. There are many, many nights where I would be up all night long because of the pain in my back and my right thigh.
Now you work part-time now at, did you tell me the Catalina Club?
Yeah, Catalina Beach Club.
Catalina Beach Club. And you do the recreation stuff for them and stuff. Do you find that your job is easier to do and maybe handle stress a little bit easier because of your treatment?
Oh, definitely. I could stand.
Right.
Which, before standing, I was in terrible pain.
Okay.
Standing, sitting. The only time I ever got relief was if I lay down.
Right.
And even then I had pain.
Now, let's go back to the first time you went to acupuncture. The first time you went to acupuncture, what drove you there? Was it someone said, oh, you got to go to this guy, or was it because you were in so much pain?
He was recommended to me.
Right. And did not have the results. Now, was it a full-time acupuncturist? You know, we don't want names, but was it a full-time acupuncturist?
Yes,
or was it
the first time. Oh, no, Dr. Pan was recommended to me.
Oh, okay.
The first one I went to, I found in the phone book, I think it was.
And my point for that, Dr. Fahn, is there's so many people that it's like being a fitness trainer. So many people can go to a weekend seminar for being a practitioner, and I put it to my own thing. You know, I wanted to have the skills of being a life coach, so I went to a 10-day seminar on being a life coach, and they had all these experts in being life coaches, and they give you a little card at the end that says you're a certified life coach now by this association. Well, that wasn't enough for me. I didn't like that. So what I did is I started paying to have a life coach that was one of the best and had written some of the best books I've seen and made the most sense to me to coach me and to say, okay, here's where you need to go to get accredited next, okay? So from that standpoint, we have to look at anybody. I mean, I see massage therapists. I see physical therapists. I see chiropractors, and they also have it, the thing, what they do, they have acupuncture. This is your sole thing that you know, I don't teach group exercise class. I don't profess to be a dietitian, although I have an eating philosophy that works with our programming. I'm a strength training conditioning coach that understands how to get around injuries, how to take different situations that people are at, medical history and that, and work from that standpoint of bringing their fitness level up. That's what you do, right?
Right. Now, Tasso, that is the expertise and also the in-depth knowledge. I think that you inquire through rigorous training to, X number of years in schooling and also the clinical experience. Another thing I want to express my gratitude is family doctors. Her family doctor is my patients for, I think, in 2007. That's been about 7 years ago. And I treat her husband. He is, I believe, is pulmonaris too. So they both doctors, and I treat both of them. So her family doctors say, I recommend you to Dr. Fan and give him an opportunity to help you because you've been suffering for 6 years and you exhausted all the conventional medicines and therapies. So, I really right now I work with a lot of family doctors, and I'm very appreciative that they allow or given their patients an opportunity to explore acupuncture, because I think MDs, their recommendation is so significant, and say, if
it carries a lot of strength with it when it comes.
Yes, absolutely.
Because you've gone to the same family physician, I imagine, for a fairly long period of time. I mean, there's a lot of flux going on in the world of healthcare right now, but most of us have been fortunate enough to see our same family physician, to develop a relationship. They understand your history. So when a recommendation comes from them to say, hey, listen, I want you to go see this person, I experience the same thing. As I'm very thankful for the physicians that I have relationships with and I build relationships with that send their clients, because when they come, they're more apt to, I don't have to tell them about what we've done or how we do it, or they pretty much come in and say, hey, listen, my doctor told me to come here and fix me. And so that had to set your mind at ease a little bit when you came in from that standpoint. Were there any things that stuck out to you as differences in the way Dr. Fan approached treating you as to and just drawing contrast again to other acupuncturist treatments that are out there? Anything that he did differently that you said, wow, the other guy didn't do this?
Yeah, he started working on my front of my body, and then the following time I came in, it was the back of my body. He started putting needles in my abdomen, which the other doctor did not do. He just put needles in my arms and my legs.
Right.
And in my ear. So that was a big difference. And like I said, I felt relief the first time that I went to him.
Now, Dr. Fan, when you do something like that, because I know that when I came to you with my hip issue and that, and you actually went to the opposite hip and then into my ankles for the three treatment needles that you used, do you approach? Does referral pain patterns have anything to do with what you do, or is it all to just the sites of here's a point for pain in this area?
No, if you are beginners and you don't have in-depth knowledge, then you do more superficial treatment, but you also your thought process is different. How you approach the problem is different. I analyze a different way of seeing things because we use a microsystem or balance system too. Right. So let's say you have hip problems, but we use the opposite shoulders to balance your hip because this is a microsystem. I mean, acupuncture had been in our family for 17 generations. So we combine with the academic program plus our family clinical experience. So it's a little bit different, and I say that, a specialist who train so many different levels, it's just different. I mean, it's every professions, have in-depth skills. So my approach is a little bit different than the other acupuncturist approach.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
right. And again, you now when you had the acupuncture, was it down here or was it up north that you had that?
It's down here.
Down here, okay. So we look at it, and were there any fears that you had to overcome in going to acupuncture, either with Dr. Fahn or the first time you went?
Yeah, I was a little nervous about it.
And
I didn't know anybody who had gone for acupuncture, and I was kind of apprehensive.
Okay, so this is something that the public as a whole, and one of the big things that you want to do, Dr. Fahn, is educate the public, and also get them over those fears, because there's a lot of fears that people have in going to acupuncture, and so when we look to educate people, is we looked at that. Hey, listen, there's no one die. I know one of my friends said, well, what if he hits one of my nerves when he puts those needles in? I said he's not going to go that deep to hit those nerves.
It's too thin.
Right.
I'm not a surgeon. If a surgeon, you cut through it, and I'm a lot more a repair doctor. So, like you have a shoulders or a lower back. Think of acupuncture as a repair process.
Right.
But the different mechanism. When I treat acne or dermatitis or eczema, is mostly related to hormonal and GI issue. If I can clear it, detox and clear out the GI, I have 2 young female yesterday who had a severe acne, and they tried it to see dermatologists and you name it, 3 years for a different cream, and it's very painful. That pimple acne, very painful. And I say within 2 or 3 treatments, you should feel at ease. By the 3rd treatment, they say, oh, I slept so well, and I smiled. My face it's not hurt anymore.
Right.
And I say, and her parent was like, oh my goodness, it's finally I find something that works. The cream, it can be superficial and also help some, but if you need to treat the source, why the acne is there, why the eczema is there, why is the dermatitis appear certain spot in the skin. So it's very fascinating. Acupuncture, why I had so in-depth interest study acupuncture is, you and I come from a biochemistry background, and we study DNA and RNA and how the molecular cell will affect the tissues and organs. And I find it's so fascinating working inside out.
Right.
Another case that I work with is that this man in his 50, his iron so high, in 1,000 range.
His iron.
His iron level. Right. And another thing is his testosterone is low. So what I did, I said, just give me about 16 hours of work, and we're doing blood work again. Now we're hitting about 6 or 8 hours right now, and we went blood work, and then his iron dropped 400 down to 1,000 to now about 600 levels, and his family doctor dropped the jaw and said, "What do you do different? We use all different kind of medication to get your testosterone up, your iron low, but it just like this, it doesn't go down." And I say, I use like acupuncture, and it helped regulate my bodies, my hormone. Now my testosterone went up to 300 levels, and his wife was pushing him because he was just hesitate. He was a little bit nervous. So, men sometimes nervous about acupuncture.
Men are nervous. I mean, I've told you that some of the guys I think are men's men. They're hunters. They fish. They catch big fish. They're afraid to come. They'd make the appointment. They're not show. I said, "Hey, Dr. Fahn, how'd so and so do?" He said, "He don't show up." I call him. "You didn't go to Dr. Oh man, I can't do those needles, dude." I go, "We're really?" But you make up a great point, because I made a point earlier, and I like your point of healing from the inside out, because when I try to talk about the body's difference, we talk in the same terms of what most personal trainers talk about. They talk about eat right, strength train, get your aerobic exercise. But, we've added the depth of 2 triangles to what we talk about. We talk about now how the brain and the gut and the immune system must be balanced. I have a 6-lane highway. And if one of those lanes has an accident on it, everything's screwed up. And what you've done with that guy with his testosterone levels and with his iron levels is you've done nothing more than balance what is going on hormonally from the inside out. And that balance comes from probably a lot of stress reduction. I mean, I don't know if you perceive it, but the way we handle stress and our hormonal response to stress is so difficult for most people. And we don't understand we have now, and you've heard me say this, Dr. Fahn, because we started talking about this, is that we say inflammation is the cause of all these degenerative diseases we see, whether it's arthritis, diabetes, heart disease, cancer, whatever it is. That the cause of it is inflammation. The mother of inflammation is stress. And with what we do in our formula of our first triangle, our triangle of synergy, is we begin to reverse the effects of stress and allow stress to be taken care of physically. You do it from a standpoint of balancing the systems of the body, because when they're out of balance, if you get any of the points of the triangles that one is more inflamed, if the immune system gets inflamed and is out of balance, then the gut is going to suffer, the brain's going to suffer. Those are things that you don't hear personal trainers talking about, and probably the things you talk about you don't hear other acupuncturists talking about from that balance system. And so that's the point that differentiates, and that's why you and I are always continuing to educate ourselves. We're going, I can't, I'm afraid to tell you how much money I spend every month in my continuing education. People say, well, what kind of certification you guys? I teach my guys' certification. I don't need you to be certified when you come to work for me, because I'm going to teach you my systems. I have a master's in biochemistry, 8 months from a PhD, got involved in this industry, found a person to mentor me that understood the science of how the muscles work. And that's carried on to the science of exactly what you do. So I'm glad for our relationship, because it's been very helpful to my athletes. We have a lot of athletes performing around the country at different levels. And what would you like to say in parting? Because we have about 3 minutes left. To convince people out there that, hey, listen, call Dr. Fahn, because I suffered for 6 years.
Well, I'd like to say that if you're in pain like I was, I've tried everything, and I'm sure you have also. Call Dr. Fahn. He's helped me. I can't say enough about him.
And that number is 615-1203, 615-1203. And I saw our good friend Sarah yesterday, Dr. Fahn, who I got over to one of my clients, and I said, boy, oh boy, look at you. I said, I see you walking better, and I don't think your hip hurts as much. She goes, what hip?
I think she's 87, isn't it?
Shh. When I told someone her age and she got so mad at me, I've never seen her get shh.
Okay.
I hope she's not listening today.
Right.
Boy, we'll be both in trouble.
That's another program that I offer to public, and I hope the veteran take advantage of this. If you experience PSTD, post-traumatic stress syndrome, anxiety, insomnia, and depressions, I encourage you to take advantage of it. We offer every Monday, start from September, mid-September, the 15th, the second week of the September.
Right.
So,
and the October 2011 of the Veterans of Foreign War magazine talks about ancient therapy for the 21st century. Veterans and active duty service members are trained to acupuncture in search of relaxation and to ease the chronic pain, and the VA can help. So you have offered your services to those who have served us. 725 West Granada, Suite 15 in Ormond Beach. The phone number is 615-1203. Dr. Lorenzo Fahn, who is a co-sponsor of the Fitness Friday show, along with Kalen's Home Furnishings. And I hope you will give Dr. Fahn a call. And remember, if you think everything's good in your life and you're feeling good and everything's okay, go have a stress treatment. That's all. Go, commit to 4 stress treatments, one every Thursday or Friday. And I guarantee you by the 4th one, you'll say, wow, my weekends are better than I ever thought they could be. Your rest will be better. Everything else will come. I appreciate you coming in today and sharing your story with everybody out there. And I hope that someone picks up the phone and, you're going to go see Dr. Fahn when you're finally in enough pain. You're going to try all those other things. So I hope that you do. And we hope that you will call 672-6464 for Bodez Personalized Fitness. Take advantage of our $5 offer to start your membership at a discounted rate. Get our full service body coach program. That program goes on through this month. God bless. Have a great weekend. Dr. Fahn, thank you again for your support and all your help. And we look forward to seeing you at Bodez by Tasso & Company or at Lorenzo Fahn's Acupuncture and Beauty. God bless. Have a great weekend and enjoy.
FM 93.5 and AM 1150 WNDB Daytona Beach. Daytona's morning news station. Locally owned and operated by Southern Stone Communications.